Attraction is not always loud, obvious, or spoken out loud. In fact, some of the strongest feelings are expressed in silence. When a man wants you, he doesn't always say it directly. Instead, his desire often shows up through subtle actions, body language, and quiet behaviors that are easy to miss if you don't know what to look for. These unspoken signals can reveal far more than words ever could. Many men struggle to verbalize their feelings, especially when emotions are deep or the risk of rejection feels high. Rather than openly admitting desire, they communicate it through consistent attention, small gestures, and instinctive reactions. These signals are usually unconscious, which makes them more honest and meaningful. They reflect what he feels, not just what he chooses to say. Understanding these quiet signs can bring clarity to confusing situations. You may sense something is there, the tension, the connection, the emotional pull, but you're unsure how to interpret it. His words might stay neutral, but his behavior tells a completely different story. This is where silent signs become powerful. They help you read between the lines and recognize desire before it's ever spoken. These signals often show up in everyday moments. The way he looks at you, how he positions himself near you, or how his tone changes when he speaks to you. None of these actions are dramatic on their own, but together they form a clear pattern. Desire expressed this way is often more genuine because it isn't forced or performed. It happens naturally. It's also important to understand that silent desire is usually respectful. A man who expresses attraction quietly is often testing emotional safety and mutual interest. He watches your reactions closely, noticing whether you lean in, pull away, or mirror his energy. These moments guide his next move and help him decide whether to open up or stay guarded. Recognizing these signs doesn't mean jumping to conclusions. Instead, it gives you awareness. It allows you to observe patterns, trust your intuition, and understand where you stand emotionally. When actions align consistently over time, they usually point to real feelings rather than coincidence. In this guide, we explore 15 quiet ways a man may be telling you "I want you" without ever saying the words. These signs focus on body language, emotional presence, and subtle behaviors that reveal attraction beneath the surface. Whether you're trying to understand someone's intentions or simply want clarity in a connection, these insights can help you see what's often hidden in plain sight. Desire doesn't always speak, it often whispers. And when you learn how to listen, everything becomes clearer. 1. He maintains deep, unbroken eye contact. When a man maintains deep, unbroken eye contact with you, it often speaks louder than words ever could. Eye contact is one of the most powerful forms of nonverbal communication, and when it lingers, it usually carries intention. This isn't the casual glance people exchange in everyday conversation. It's steady, focused, and filled with attention that makes you feel fully seen. In moments like these, he isn't just listening to you, he's emotionally present and mentally engaged. Deep eye contact often signals attraction because it creates a private connection, even in a crowded room. When his eyes stay locked on yours, it shows that you have his complete focus. Distractions fade, and for those few seconds, you become the center of his world. This kind of gaze can feel intense, sometimes even slightly uncomfortable, because it carries emotional and physical interest beneath the surface. Another important detail is timing. If he holds eye contact during quiet moments, pauses, or after you finish speaking, it suggests he's savoring the interaction. He may be searching your expression, reading your emotions, or silently communicating feelings he hasn't yet said out loud. Often, this look comes with a subtle smile, relaxed facial muscles, or a softening in his expression, all signs of warmth and desire. Unbroken eye contact also reflects confidence mixed with vulnerability. To look at someone this way requires emotional courage. It means he's willing to reveal interest without hiding behind words. In many cases, he hopes you'll notice, feel the connection, and respond in kind. When eye contact feels charged, intentional, and consistent over time, it's rarely accidental. More often than not, it's his quiet way of saying, "I want you," without ever having to say it. 2. He finds reasons to be close to you. When a man consistently looks for reasons to be physically close to you, it often reveals feelings he hasn't openly expressed. This closeness doesn't have to be obvious or dramatic. Sometimes it shows up in small, almost unnoticeable ways. Choosing the seat next to you, standing a little nearer than necessary, or finding excuses to share the same space. These subtle choices are rarely random. They are usually driven by a natural pull towards someone he desires. Physical proximity creates a sense of connection and comfort. When he positions himself near you, it allows him to feel your presence, energy, and warmth. Even without touching, being close satisfies an emotional and physical curiosity. He may lean in when you talk, lower his voice, or angle his body toward you, all signs that he wants to reduce the distance between you. This kind of behavior shows that being near you feels right to him. Another key sign is consistency. If he repeatedly finds ways to be close across different situations, at work, with friends, or in casual settings, it suggests intention rather than coincidence. He may offer help when you don't really need it, walk you somewhere you could easily go alone, or linger when there's no real reason to stay. These moments give him more time with you without having to explain his motives. Closeness also signals a desire for intimacy on a deeper level. By sharing your personal space, he's quietly testing comfort and connection. He's paying attention to how you respond, whether you move away or stay close. When this behavior feels natural and respectful, it's often his unspoken way of saying he wants more than just conversation. He wants you near him. 3. His body naturally leans toward you. When a man's body naturally leans toward you, it's a strong nonverbal signal of interest and desire. Body language often reveals feelings long before words do, and leaning in is one of the clearest signs. It shows that he's drawn to you on an instinctive level. He may not even realize he's doing it, but his body responds to his attraction by closing the physical gap between you. Leaning toward you indicates engagement. It means he's fully focused on what you're saying and wants to be part of your space. Whether you're sitting or standing, his posture subtly shifts in your direction, showing that you have his attention. This movement communicates comfort and curiosity, suggesting that being close to you feels natural and inviting to him. This behavior becomes even more meaningful when there's no practical reason for it. If the room isn't noisy and there's no need to hear better, leaning in still happens because he wants to feel closer. His shoulders may turn toward you, his feet may point in your direction, and his upper body follows, all aligning to face you. These are subconscious actions driven by emotional and physical attraction. Leaning in also creates intimacy without touch. It sends a quiet message that he wants connection but is still being respectful. Often, he's gauging your reaction, whether you lean into, stay relaxed, or pull away. Your response helps him understand if his interest is welcome. When his body consistently moves toward you across different moments, it's rarely accidental. More often, it's his silent way of expressing desire and saying, without words, that he wants to be closer to you. 4. He mirrors your movements and expressions. When a man starts mirroring your movements and expressions, it's a subtle yet powerful sign of attraction. Mirroring happens when someone unconsciously copies another person's body language, tone, or facial expressions. If you smile and he smiles back in the same way, or if you cross your arms and notice him doing the same moments later, it's often a sign that he feels connected to you. This behavior reflects emotional alignment. By matching your gestures and expressions, he's subconsciously trying to create harmony and closeness. It's his way of saying, I'm in sync with you. People tend to mirror those they feel comfortable with or drawn to, and when desire is involved, this tendency becomes even stronger. He may match your pace while walking, adopt a similar posture, or even start using the same phrases you use. Mirroring also signals attentiveness. It shows that he's paying close attention to you, not just to your words but to how you move and react. This level of focus often comes from genuine interest. He wants to feel like you're on the same wavelength, and mirroring helps build that silent bond without requiring any direct expression of feelings. Over time, consistent mirroring strengthens emotional intimacy. It creates a sense of familiarity and ease, making interactions feel natural and comfortable. When this happens repeatedly, it's rarely coincidence. More often, it's an unconscious response to attraction and desire. Through mirroring, he's quietly communicating that he feels connected to you and wants to deepen that connection, without ever needing to say it out loud. 5. He touches you casually but often. When a man touches you casually yet frequently, it's usually a clear sign of underlying desire. These touches are not dramatic or overly intimate. They show up in small, seemingly innocent moments: a light touch on your arm, a brief brush of hands, or a gentle tap on your shoulder. Because they appear natural, they're easy to overlook, but repetition gives them meaning. Casual touch is often a way of testing boundaries. Through these small gestures, he's seeing how comfortable you are with physical closeness. If you don't pull away or seem uneasy, it reassures him that the connection is welcome. These touches create a sense of familiarity and warmth, slowly building physical comfort without forcing the situation forward. Another important detail is intention. Even when the touch seems accidental, there's usually awareness behind it. He may find reasons to guide you through a crowd, adjust something near you, or offer help that requires brief contact. These moments allow him to feel closer while still appearing respectful and relaxed. Frequent casual touch also reflects emotional confidence. It shows he feels safe around you and trusts the connection. Touch is one of the most direct forms of nonverbal communication, and when used gently and consistently, it often expresses affection and attraction more honestly than words. When these touches feel natural, respectful, and happen often, they are rarely meaningless. More often, they are his quiet way of expressing desire and showing that he wants a deeper physical and emotional closeness with you, without openly saying it. 6. His voice softens when he talks to you. When a man's voice noticeably softens around you, it's a subtle yet meaningful sign of attraction. Tone often reveals emotions that words try to hide. If he speaks more gently, lowers his volume, or sounds calmer when addressing you, it usually means he feels emotionally drawn in. This change isn't something he plans. It happens naturally when he cares about how he comes across to you. A softer voice creates intimacy. It signals that he wants the moment to feel personal and close, almost as if the rest of the world fades into the background. He may slow his speech, choose his words more carefully, or speak with warmth that isn't present when he talks to others. This shift shows that your presence affects him and that he wants you to feel comfortable and valued. This behavior often becomes more noticeable in private or quieter moments. When it's just the two of you, his voice may lose its usual edge or firmness and take on a more tender quality. Even in group settings, he might unconsciously soften his tone when responding directly to you, creating a small emotional bubble between you. A softened voice also reflects emotional safety. It suggests he feels relaxed and open around you, which is essential for attraction to grow. He isn't trying to impress loudly. Instead, he's connecting sincerely. Over time, this consistent change in tone becomes a quiet pattern. When his voice softens whenever he speaks to you, it's often his unspoken way of expressing desire and signaling that you matter to him on a deeper level. Next. 7. He pays attention to small details about you. When a man pays close attention to the small details about you, it often reveals a deep level of interest and desire. These details might seem insignificant to others, but to him, they matter. He remembers how you take your coffee, notices when you change your hairstyle, or recalls something personal you mentioned in passing weeks ago. This kind of attentiveness shows that you occupy his thoughts even when you're not around. Remembering small details requires emotional investment. It means he's truly listening, not just hearing your words. While many people engage in surface-level conversations, he absorbs the little things because he cares about understanding you. This focus goes beyond politeness. It reflects genuine curiosity and attraction. He wants to know what makes you comfortable, happy, or stressed, because your feelings matter to him. This behavior also signals consistency. He doesn't just notice once and forget. He brings those details up later, sometimes surprising you by remembering something you assumed he'd overlook. These moments create a sense of being seen and valued, which strengthens emotional intimacy. It's his way of showing that you're not just another person in his life. You're someone special. Paying attention to small details is often a quiet expression of desire because it shows effort without expectation. He's investing emotionally without demanding anything in return. Over time, this attentiveness builds trust and closeness. When a man consistently remembers and acknowledges the little things about you, it's rarely accidental. More often, it's a silent way of saying he wants you and cares about you on a deeper level. 8. He gets protective without realizing it. When a man becomes protective of you without consciously trying to be, it often signals strong feelings beneath the surface. This protectiveness doesn't show up as control or dominance. Instead, it appears in small, thoughtful actions. Checking if you got home safely, standing slightly closer in unfamiliar situations, or subtly positioning himself between you and something he perceives as a threat. These behaviors are instinctive and emotionally driven. Protectiveness is closely tied to care and desire. When he feels drawn to you, your well-being becomes important to him. He may offer help before you ask or show concern when you seem uncomfortable. These reactions usually happen quickly, without much thought, because they come from an emotional place rather than logic. Another key sign is how natural it feels. He doesn't announce his actions or expect praise for them. He simply does what feels right in the moment. This quiet protectiveness shows that he is emotionally invested and attentive to your needs. He notices changes in your mood or environment and responds in a way that makes you feel supported. Over time, this pattern becomes consistent. He looks out for you even in situations where it might not be necessary. While he may not label his behavior as attraction, his actions reveal it clearly. When a man instinctively protects you, it often means he sees you as someone important in his life. More often than not, it's his silent way of expressing desire and signaling that he wants you safe, comfortable, and close to him. 9. His eyes light up when you enter the room. When a man's eyes noticeably light up the moment you enter the room, it's a powerful sign of desire he may not even be aware of. This reaction happens instantly and instinctively, before he has time to control his expression. His face may soften, his eyebrows lift slightly, or a subtle smile appears without effort. These small changes reveal genuine excitement at your presence. This kind of response shows emotional impact. Your arrival shifts his mood in a positive way, signaling that being around you makes him feel good. Even if he tries to stay composed, his eyes often betray his true feelings. They may follow you briefly, sparkle with interest, or hold a warmth that isn't there when he looks at others. This is a natural reaction to someone he desires. The consistency of this behavior matters. If his expression changes every time you show up, it's not coincidence. It means he anticipates seeing you and feels pleased when you're near. This reaction often happens in both social and casual settings, making it even more meaningful. He isn't trying to impress. His body simply responds. Eyes are one of the most honest indicators of emotion. They reflect attraction, happiness, and longing without needing words. When his eyes light up at the sight of you, it suggests that you hold a special place in his attention and emotions. More often than not, this instinctive reaction is his quiet way of saying he wants you and enjoys your presence more than he lets on. 10. He becomes quietly nervous around you. When a man becomes quietly nervous in your presence, it's often a sign that he cares deeply about how you see him. This nervousness isn't loud or obvious. Instead, it shows up in subtle ways, slight pauses before speaking, fidgeting with his hands, adjusting his posture, or briefly losing his train of thought. These small behaviors suggest that your opinion matters to him more than he's willing to admit. Nervousness usually comes from emotional vulnerability. When he's attracted to you, he may feel a quiet pressure to make a good impression. Even confident men can become a little unsure around someone they desire. This happens because he's emotionally invested and doesn't want to say or do the wrong thing. You might also notice changes in his usual behavior. He may talk less than normal, laugh a bit awkwardly, or become extra careful with his words. These shifts show that he's more self-aware around you. He's thinking before he speaks, trying to present the best version of himself, which reveals his interest. Quiet nervousness is different from discomfort. It's paired with attention, warmth, and engagement. He still wants to be near you, listen to you, and interact. He's just more aware of himself while doing so. When this pattern appears consistently, it's rarely accidental. More often, it's his unspoken way of showing that you matter to him and that he wants your approval, connection, and closeness without directly saying it. 11. He listens more than he speaks with you. When a man listens more than he speaks during conversations with you, it often reveals genuine interest and desire. Instead of dominating the discussion, he gives you space to talk, share, and express yourself. His attention feels steady and intentional, showing that what you say truly matters to him. This kind of listening goes beyond politeness. It reflects emotional engagement. You may notice that he maintains eye contact, nods, or responds thoughtfully rather than rushing to speak. He remembers what you've said and refers back to it later, proving that he was fully present. This level of focus suggests that he values understanding you rather than impressing you with his own words. Listening more also indicates respect and emotional maturity. He's interested in your thoughts, feelings, and experiences, not just surface-level conversation. When attraction is involved, listening becomes a way to connect deeply and build trust. He wants to learn what makes you happy, what worries you, and what matters most to you. This behavior often creates a safe and comfortable space. You may feel naturally open around him without realizing why. Over time, this dynamic strengthens emotional intimacy. When a man consistently prioritizes listening over speaking with you, it's rarely accidental. More often, it's his quiet way of expressing desire and showing that he wants a deeper connection built on understanding and closeness. 12. He finds excuses to message or call you. When a man consistently finds small excuses to message or call you, it often signals desire he hasn't openly expressed. The reasons may seem casual or unnecessary. A simple check-in, a random question, or sharing something he thought you'd like. While each interaction appears harmless on its own, the pattern behind them reveals intention. These excuses create connection. He's looking for ways to stay present in your life and keep communication going. Even when there's nothing important to say, reaching out gives him a sense of closeness. It shows that you cross his mind frequently and that he enjoys maintaining contact with you. Another important detail is consistency. If he regularly initiates conversations, responds quickly, or finds reasons to continue chatting, it suggests emotional investment. He's making an effort to be part of your daily rhythm. This behavior often reflects curiosity, care, and attraction combined. Calling or messaging also reduces emotional distance. Through these small interactions, he builds familiarity and comfort. He may test how responsive you are or how engaged you seem, quietly gauging your interest. When these excuses happen often and feel intentional rather than forced, they are rarely random. More often, they are his unspoken way of saying he wants your attention, your time, and ultimately, you. 13. His actions match his attention. When a man's actions consistently match the attention he gives you, it's a strong sign of genuine desire. Anyone can offer compliments or express interest with words, but actions reveal true intention. If he shows up when he says he will, follows through on promises, and makes real effort to be present in your life, it means his feelings are sincere. You may notice that his behavior aligns with how focused he is on you. He doesn't just talk about caring. He demonstrates it through reliability and consistency. Whether it's making time for you, supporting you during stressful moments, or remembering commitments, his actions reinforce the attention he gives you. This alignment builds trust. It shows that he respects you and values the connection. When desire is real, effort feels natural rather than forced. He doesn't disappear or become inconsistent. Instead, he stays steady and engaged. This kind of behavior indicates emotional maturity and clear interest. Matching actions and attention also means he prioritizes you in meaningful ways. Even small gestures, checking in, offering help, or adjusting his schedule, reflect consideration. Over time, these patterns become clear. When a man's actions back up his attention consistently, it's rarely coincidence. More often, it's his quiet way of expressing desire and showing that he wants something real with you. 14. He makes time for you no matter how busy he is. When a man makes time for you regardless of how busy his life gets, It's a clear sign of desire and emotional priority. Everyone has responsibilities, but when you matter to someone, they find space for you. This doesn't always mean grand plans or long hours together. Sometimes it's a quick call, a short meeting, or a message just to stay connected. But the effort is consistent. Making time reflects choice. He's actively deciding to include you in his schedule rather than fitting you in only when it's convenient. Even during stressful or demanding periods, he doesn't disappear. Instead, he reassures you through presence, showing that you remain important to him. This behavior also shows respect. He values your time as much as his own and doesn't leave you feeling uncertain or ignored. When attraction is strong, effort feels natural. He wants to see you, hear from you, and share moments with you, even if they are brief. Over time, this consistency builds emotional security. You don't have to question where you stand because his actions make it clear. When a man repeatedly makes time for you despite a full schedule, it's rarely accidental. More often, it's his unspoken way of saying that you matter deeply to him and that he wants you in his life. 15. He shows subtle jealousy without words. When a man shows subtle jealousy without openly expressing it, it often reveals desire he hasn't admitted yet. This jealousy isn't dramatic or possessive. Instead, it appears in small shifts. His mood changes slightly when someone else gets your attention. His body language tightens, or he becomes unusually quiet. These reactions usually happen before he even realizes them. Subtle jealousy comes from emotional attachment. He cares about your connection and feels a quiet discomfort at the thought of losing your attention to someone else. You might notice him asking casual questions about other people in your life or becoming more attentive when someone else is around you. These behaviors reflect concern, not control. This type of jealousy often leads to increased effort. He may suddenly engage more in conversation, position himself closer to you, or find ways to reassert his presence. These actions are not about dominance but about reassurance, both for himself and the connection he feels with you. What makes this sign meaningful is restraint. He doesn't accuse or demand explanations. Instead, his emotions surface subtly through behavior. When this pattern appears alongside care, respect, and consistency, it's rarely accidental. More often, this quiet jealousy is his unspoken way of expressing desire and signaling that he wants you and values the bond you share.